Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, the YouTube channel that's not hosted by a sociopath, a narcissist, or a grifter. No, I am your host. So this week we're going to have a look at a video by a YouTube creator I've never heard of before, Cornelia Grimsmo. Apparently she's been in the LA and vegan YouTube scene for quite a while. I've never encountered you. If you have, hey Cornelia, don't worry here. I'm not here to trash you or make you feel bad or anything like that. When I review people's why I'm no longer vegan videos, I'm looking for reasons why a person can't be vegan. I'm trying to see if there's a reason why someone can't be vegan. More often than not, it turns out they just don't want to be vegan. That's fine. People are free to make their decisions. So anyway, let's have a look here and see if there's a reason why someone can't be vegan.
I was vegan for 8 years, and here is my inevitable I'm no longer vegan video.
When you say it's your inevitable why I'm no longer vegan video, hopefully you're just joking about yourself. You thought you'd never be making one, because it's not inevitable. I've been vegan far longer than her. What'd you say, 8 years? I've been vegan over 12 and a half years now, and I'm pretty old too. I'm in my mid-50s, so you know, if as bad as some people say, not saying she's saying this, but as so many anti-vegans and a lot of former vegans say it was so horrible, I should be one of these people that have made a why I'm no longer vegan video, and I'm just letting you know it ain't gonna happen.
I'm sure I've influenced a lot of people into veganism, and for me the change that I've done recently has been so good for my mental health and my soul, just my well-being in general. So I just want to put it out there in case it will be helpful to someone else.
So yeah, I don't follow her content. I have no idea what her personal life is like, her mental health issues, if any, are. I just don't understand a connection. It's not obvious to me how quitting being vegan improves one's mental health or well-being. Maybe it'll be some more explanation to follow.
So what drew me to veganism in the first place was my heart's intention to cause as little harm as possible to people and animals on the planet.
Well, that's cool, because most of these people that I respond to here, these why I'm no longer vegan people, are people that were never really vegan. They were something else. They were fitness influencers. They ate a plant-based diet. They were trying to be really skinny for whatever reasons, you know. But here, yeah, at least, yeah, she's in it for reasons that are, you know, vegan. Yeah, because remember, vegan is not a diet. It's not an environmental movement or fitness movement or something like that. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation.
I had a foot in the YouTuber vegan community clique when it was, you know, a big hype in 2015 or 14 or whatever it was. But from the very beginning, even then, I was skeptical to some of the more out there messages that I felt was being spread on social media. And I was loud about it, that I didn't agree on everything. That's
right. You should be skeptical of these more outrageous people who, especially back in 2014, 15, and 16, dominated vegan YouTube. I mean, most of these people were probably following the same people at the time. I have them all blocked now. I don't want to hear their toxic nonsense messages or anything like that. So yeah, I just want to point out, just because there are some people, aka influencers, who might be vegan, doesn't mean they stand for or represent veganism as a whole. There's going to be some extreme freaks representing veganism, just like there's some extreme freaks representing anything. Pick your favorite hobby, your favorite topic. There's some extreme freak influencers. Just don't follow them.
You know, you adapt. I adapted to that lifestyle. You know, with any lifestyle, there are certain like do's and don'ts and things you say, how you behave, and that applies to, you know, any kind of community, religion, race, culture, nationality, sexuality. There are certain expectations of you, and you put that expectation on yourself.
Aha, so I think we're really getting down to the heart of the matter now. What's really going on inside here? I think perhaps, this is my speculation, but based on what's being said in this video of hers, I think she's got maybe a little too influenced by some of these early extreme influencers, by their standards, their norms, their practices. Remember, these people are not vegan. You know, I mean, they're vegan. They might be vegan, practicing veganism, vegan diet, but they don't represent or define what veganism is. Let's look at what veganism requires once once again, let's look at the definition of veganism. This is all you're beholden to, not some freaky influencer on YouTube or Instagram. This is all you need to do, is not participate in animal cruelty and exploitation. Don't consume animal products for food, clothing, or any other purpose. That's it. This is what veganism is all about. Forget all these influencers, forget all the hype and social media. Veganism is a personal choice. It's not a way to be on social media or anything like that. You can be a vegan and not have any social media accounts. It's just not consuming animal products.
Because it's easier to put yourself in that box and follow the rules of that box.
Actually, there's no rules to being vegan other than not consuming animal products, but that's not a rule. It's just a logical consequence of taking a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Meaning, if you're truly against all forms of animal cruelty and exploitation, you're not going to consume animal products and will therefore consume plants. I mean, it's not a rule, it's just what you do to have consistent moral beliefs. But I think she's talking about the rules that some of these influencers may have. And again, don't listen to them. They don't represent veganism.
Than to be out in the wilderness doing it on your own, only led by your own intuition. That is scary because you're afraid of doing it wrong. You feel like, oh, these people must be right, they've been doing it for a longer time, or that's just the way it is, or there are a lot of different mentalities around this.
And once again, there's no real way I can think of doing veganism wrong. You're just vegan. You just don't consume animal products. Maybe she's talking about, again, these influencers who have certain preferences, like you have to do it all raw, or you have to have like certain macronutrient ratios, or whatever. But again, don't listen to them. You can't do veganism wrong if you're vegan. Just don't consume animal products. That's it. And then you're doing it right.
But by putting yourself in a box, you obviously limit yourself, your worldview, your just life become way more narrow.
I have no idea what you're talking about here, Cornelia. I think it'd be an interesting discussion to have with you, but I strongly suspect you're just projecting some personal issues into the matter here, some issues that are just unique to yourself, because I have no idea. I don't feel like I'm in a box or I'm too narrow. I just, as I've believed for over 12 years now, that it's wrong to kill animals when we could consume plants and get all the nutrition we need and all, and that's why I'm vegan. How does that make me narrow or in a box? How does that put me in a box? I mean, other than being called vegan, I don't feel that's limiting in any way. I don't understand this criticism.
Than what it would have been if you made up your own rules and you just lived authentically in each and every moment aligned with what felt right for you.
Once again, there's no rules to veganism. If you truly, authentically believe it's wrong to exploit animals, wrong to be cruel to animals, then you would just naturally be vegan. There's no rule following. It's just the logical consequence of fully living a life in accordance with the ethical beliefs of veganism. And how is that somehow not being authentic? I mean, I'm really confused at this point.
Right now, I still have the same values as I had when I first entered veganism, but I just have a different mindset on what those values mean, if that makes sense.
No, I think me and probably everyone watching on my channel right now is probably a bit confused. I mean, I'm trying to use all my creativity and imagination here to understand how your values haven't changed, but yet you have a different perspective. If you believed back when you first went vegan 8 years ago that it was wrong to exploit and be cruel to animals and you didn't consume them, how do you still have that belief that it's wrong to be cruel and exploit animals and now consume animals? I can't wrap my head around that. It's like telling me that you have a four-sided triangle or something like that.
I realized that I was very strict with myself. And when I put up an Instagram story telling you guys that I was no longer vegan and I showed myself eating my first egg in 8 years, so many of you said that you felt the same way, that you feel guilty, that you feel too much guilt to be able to do it, but you want to have an egg now and then.
Well, I'm glad you're getting support from your followers on Instagram. I'm glad not everyone like turned on you or something like that. See, I'm not making this video to make your life worse or anything if you're watching, but I just want to say those are not the words of vegans. Like, if you're truly, again, vegan, if you're against animal cruelty and exploitation, you wouldn't want to consume the products of animal cruelty and exploitation. For me, when I see animal products, eggs included, I'm grossed out. I don't sit there and go, man, that looks really tasty. I really would like to eat it, but I feel guilty. No, it's not food. I tell people it's like poop. When I see poop on the ground, or if I see a piece of meat or egg somewhere, I don't consider eating them. They're gross. They're repulsive.
So as I said, the reason for me being vegan in the first place was because I didn't want to cause harm to anyone, but causing harm to yourself to save others is not something I believe in anymore. Like, kindness above all else is not something that I believe in anymore.
So I have to admit, when I first saw her say that, I was a little annoyed and angered, because there's nothing self-harming about eating a vegan diet or being vegan. I mean, you talk about like nutritionally it's harming or something like that, because that's completely untrue. Look at these opinions of health organizations around the world. As long as you're eating a well-planned, balanced vegan diet, all your nutritional needs will be met. But taking everything she said so far in this video together, along with this statement, I truly believe she's talking about mental health issues. And I've seen this with other people who made these "Why I'm No Longer Vegan" videos that have some kind of mental health, like just kind of hang-ups, like psychological hang-ups about veganism. And often it's through toxic influencers that they encountered at some point in their vegan lives. And again, I want to separate them, the influencers and people on social media, from veganism. Veganism is a personal decision. It's just you and nature. That's all there is involved in it. There's no social media people. There's no influencers. It's just a decision, a private decision you made that you can share with the world if you want, but a decision you made that you're going to take a stand against animal cruelty and exploitation because you know in your heart it's truly wrong.
To me, self-love is way more valuable, and I believe that if you live from that place, self-love, your choices will be beneficial for the greater good as well.
And there's nothing incompatible with having self-love and being vegan. Again, if your issue is toxicity from past influencers in your life, just don't follow them anymore. As I assume you don't. I mean, just get rid of the baggage that lingers in your mind, and you can have what I have, self-love and a vegan lifestyle.
It took me about a year to kind of unravel all of the limiting beliefs that that community has taught me over the years.
Well, first of all, there's nothing limiting about veganism, but I want to say congratulations if you got rid of that toxic mental baggage that you acquired from your earlier days on vegan YouTube. That's a good thing. Now you can get back into what veganism really is. It's not about any influencers on YouTube or anywhere. It's about not consuming animal products, not exploiting animals, which you can go and start once again. You can restart your vegan lifestyle, reboot it anew now, mentally anew, without all the past toxic baggage.
Me eating a few eggs now and then won't take away or diminish all the effort I put into animal welfare and the environment for the last 8 years, or the effort I will put in the future.
Well, first I want to point out that many people who quit being vegan, they say, oh, I started off with eggs, and the next thing you know, they're having fish, then a couple weeks later, they're at a full-blown like steakhouse. Not to say that's going to happen in Cornelia's case. I just want to point out this is a path that I've seen many times. But let's just assume Cornelia stays with eating eggs. Just local eggs, not from like factory farms or something like that. Still then, most people are not aware of the cruelty and exploitation that chickens face, and even in these most perfect circumstances, and I use that word liberally here. Let me point you to Earthling Ed's video, where he does an eloquent job of pointing out the many forms of cruelty and exploitation that even backyard hens face.
However, this loss of nutrients can also have an impact on backyard hens, with egg binding being an issue where an egg becomes physically stuck inside the hen, which can ultimately lead to the hens dying. Other health complications exacerbated by a hen's excessive egg production include egg yolk peritonitis, where the yolk of the egg gets stuck in their body and becomes infected by bacteria.
And there's way more too in Ed's video, so I'll put a link to it, and I recommend that everyone watches his well-made video, well-researched video. But anyway, back to Cornelia here. I hope you're, if you saw this, if you're watching this, you're not upset with me or anything like that. I really think there's no reason why you can't go back to being vegan, especially now that you've had time to sort through all the issues that you've, you know, built up over the years in your early days of veganism. There's no reason why you can't adopt a healthy vegan diet now where you love yourself and are being authentic, because it's working out just fine for me and so many others that I know, and I wish you can do it yourself too. I also appreciate how you didn't throw veganism under the bus as many others do, so kudos on that. And I want to point out, as I asked at the beginning, was there a reason why Cornelia couldn't be vegan? No, I didn't really see one. I just saw that she just didn't want to be vegan any longer. So again, it continues on. We see that there's no reason why someone can't be vegan, just someone might lose the desire to be vegan for whatever reasons. Anyway guys, leave your questions and comments down below. Again, be kind to Cornelia, because I really think she could be vegan again. I see no reason why she couldn't be vegan again, unless she just doesn't really want to for whatever reasons. Anyway, leave your questions and comments down below, hit like, and until next time, remember guys, it doesn't suck being vegan.